Hello friends! I am so excited that it is October and that you're joining us on our YouTube channel today. I'm Miss A from Reading Public Library's Northeast Branch, and I am here to read to you another story time with Miss A. This week's story time is brought to you with permission from Simon and Schuster. Thank you so much for allowing us to read today's book, which is a book I love, and it is called Stumpkin by Ruth Cummins. This book is fantastic, and I'm so excited that we're going to read it together today. So, kids, what do you see on the cover? What is that? A basketball? An orange? What does Stumpkin sound like? Stumpkin, Stumpkin, pumpkin Stumpkin. Stumpkin is a pumpkin, but he doesn't have a stem. He just has a stump, which is why his name is Stumpkin. So before you read this book, can you tell me anything about pumpkins? What do you know about pumpkins? Well, maybe you already said these, but this is what I know about pumpkins. Pumpkins are orange. That is their color. They are orange. They are round. They can be small or they can be big. They have lots and lots of seeds inside them that can grow into other pumpkins. They grow on vines. We harvest them in the fall, which is the season it is right now. And for the holiday Halloween, at the end of October, we carve pumpkins and put faces in them and make them into jack-o'-lanterns. Those are a few things that I know about pumpkins. So, Stumpkin is a pumpkin, which means he is orange, he is round, he grew on a vine, and he hopes to become a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. But will anyone love him when he only has a stump and no stem? What do you think? Would you love Stumpkin? Well, let's see if anyone else will take Stumpkin home and make him into their Halloween jack-o'-lantern. And again, this is Stumpkin by Ruth Cummins, read by permission from Simon and Schuster. And we start with a brick wall. And this brick is because this story takes place in the city. If you live in the city of Reading, you probably see a lot of bricks, just like Stumpkin sees here. Stumpkin. And what do we see in this corner? It is a truck carrying pumpkins. And that truck is carrying the pumpkins to the city. It was a few days before Halloween. Outside a little shop in a big city, a shopkeeper placed some pumpkins on the shelves. So we're in a city, and you see right here, there are the pumpkins on the shelf. And here they all are here. A girl came and looked at the pumpkins. When she was done, she picked one up and carried it away. The other pumpkins worried after their friend. So all of these pumpkins are friends with that pumpkin there. But later they spotted him. Do you see the pumpkin? There it is. They spotted him across the street and way up high. He was a jack-o'-lantern. Beneath his lovely stem, he now had 2 triangle eyes, a nose, and a giant toothy smile. So the pumpkin has a smile, just like a face. That face is what makes the pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern. He had a new home, a perch all to himself high above the street. What more could anyone want? Thought the pumpkins. They were thrilled for their friend, and thrilled that they too might one day be jack-o'-lanterns. So, like I said about Stumpkin, all of the pumpkins want to be Halloween jack-o'-lanterns. They were all happily lost in thought, imagining themselves as jack-o'-lanterns, when one pumpkin realized something was very wrong. But what could be wrong? Poor little pumpkin. Poor little stemless pumpkin. It's Stumpkin. With just a stump, not a stem. Poor little Stumpkin. Still, there was plenty to like about Stumpkin. He was as big as a basketball and twice as round. Stem shmem. Who knows? Some people might even prefer a stemless pumpkin. So, Stumpkin has what we call confidence, which means he likes himself as he is, stem or no stem. Like he said before, stem shmem. Days passed and more people came. Some pumpkins left. But did Stumpkin go? Well, some pumpkins stayed. So Stumpkin is still on the shelf at the store. It wasn't yet Halloween. There were still plenty of windows that needed jack-o'-lanterns. So if you look closely, there are a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns, but there are plenty of empty windows too. So, do you think Stumpkin will find a home? I think he will. Oh, but look at his eyebrows. How do you think Stumpkin is feeling? Oh, he is feeling sad. Who would be lucky enough to take home Stumpkin? As orange as an orange, as big as a basketball, round! He was very nearly the perfect pumpkin. Very nearly, truly. Stumpkin, he is a wonderful pumpkin. Just look at him, round, orange. The next day, new people came. Will they take home Stumpkin? Well, the shopkeeper's cat settled on Stumpkin's smooth top. Then it happened. A brilliant baby chose Stumpkin until a bad dog ruined it, and the baby changed his mind. So do you know what happened? The cat was hiding the fact that Stumpkin had no stump. A stump like I'm wearing on my head. But then the dog, woof, woof, barked. The cat ran away. The baby saw that Stumpkin had no stump, and they put him back on the shelf. Poor Stumpkin. Oh well, thought Stumpkin. So now it's just him and a gourd, not even a pumpkin. And there they are on the shelf. Now it was the day of Halloween. There were still a few empty windows. So as you can see, almost every window has a jack-o'-lantern, but there are still a few left. Stumpkin has a chance. 2 were left on the shopkeeper's shelf. A boy came, and when the boy left, Stumpkin remained. The gourd? Thought Stumpkin. The gourd? I guess that's that. Now it was Halloween night, and the shop had closed. There were no more days left. How do you think Stumpkin is feeling? Sad. Oh, he's sad because it's Halloween and the shop is closed and nobody got him to make him a jack-o'-lantern in their window. The shopkeeper scooped poor Stumpkin and carried him off. What do you think will happen next? Where did Stumpkin go? It's all dark. Well, maybe we can see something on the next page. Let's see. Now, what do you think that is? Stumpkin wouldn't be getting a window, and he wouldn't be getting a new home. But I thought he was getting carved. I thought that we just carved his eyes, but it says Stumpkin wouldn't be getting a window, and he wouldn't be getting a new home because he already had a home. And where was Stumpkin's home? The shop. And that made Stumpkin very happy. The end. And you can see him right here with the cat at the shop, carved as a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. So, what did you think of that book? I think it's a great story about Stumpkin, who's a little different, but still plenty lovable. And you know what? I would definitely carve Stumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern. I think he is a fine fellow. Orange and round as a basketball. So if you want to stay with us, we are going to make a jack-o'-lantern craft this week. If you haven't already picked one up at the Northeast branch of Reading Public Library, stop by sometime this week at our front circulation desk and pick up a Go Pack. It will have all of the materials you need to make this next jack-o'-lantern craft. So, let's get started. Okay friends, so I'm at the craft table in our meeting room and I have all of my supplies ready to make a paper plate jack-o'-lantern craft. So if you go to Northeast Branch Library in about the next week while supplies last, we'll have baggies specifically made for this craft. So it should have all of the supplies listed here. But if you don't have a bag, this is what you'll need. 1 paper plate, an orange marker. I use a marker. The bags have markers, but you could also use orange paint. You could use an orange crayon, an orange colored pencil, but we are using an orange marker. A glue stick, a piece of green ribbon. I've curled mine and the ones in each bag. And then a few pieces of paper that have been cut out into shapes. So in each bag, you'll have a stem or a stump, like Stumpkin. This one is a stem. And a jack-o'-lantern smile. 2 eyes. And a nose. I will also be using tape to help me put on my ribbon vine. You probably don't need to use tape, but if you'd like to use tape and you don't have any at home, just ask for a piece of tape at the desk at Northeast Library. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I will take my paper plate, take my marker and I'm going to color this whole side here. So I'm going to color this and I'll meet you back in a second. Okay, so we put our marker cap on, make sure it clicks because we want our marker to stay being able to write. And look now, I've covered my entire plate orange. It is orange and round like Stumpkin the pumpkin. So the next thing I'm going to do is put my paper plate down on the table, and I am going to take my face pieces. I'm going to put glue on the back of them and then place them on my plate. So, take your glue stick and take off the cap. If you can't get your cap off, ask an adult to help you. So, I take my glue and I will take my first piece. This is an eye, and I'm going to put glue all over the back. So I cover one side in glue, and you can see the little purple smudgies there. Now I'll take my plate and I'll put my first eye on the plate. And you press, press, press until it sticks. See, it sticks when you can put it upside down and it doesn't fall off. So now I'm going to repeat that with all the pieces of the face. Let's do the other eye next. We take the glue, we put it on the back, then we take our pumpkin and we stick it on. Oops. And we press, press, press. All right, we have two eyes. What's next? The nose. So we'll find our little triangle. The smallest triangle you have is your pumpkin's nose. So, like the other pieces so far, we take our glue and we cover one side. It should be purple and sticky. Once that side is purple and sticky with glue, we will stick it on our pumpkin underneath and between its noses. So we pat, pat, pat to keep it on. So we have two eyes, a nose. What comes last? A smile, that's right. So we take our smile, and what do we do next? We cover it in glue. So cover one side with the purple sticky stuff. I'm gonna cover the whole thing on one side. Oops. Once it is purple and sticky on one side, it will be time to put it on our pumpkin plate. So mine's purple and sticky. I'm going to stick it right on my pumpkin underneath the nose. Ooh, mine has scary fangs for teeth. Maybe yours has a cute little smile. I think beyond the smile, there are even some that make a surprised face. So here is our pumpkin's smile. So now we still have this left, our stem or a stump, like Stumpkin. So as you can see, we're not going to put the whole thing on. That would cover our smile. We just want this much. So I'm going to hold it where I want it, put my fingers there, and then the part under my fingers, I will cover in glue. So we cover it on one side. And when you look at this on the green, it is much easier to see the purple sticky stuff. And we will put the sticky stuff on the pumpkin. We press down, pat, pat, pat. And our pumpkin looks so cute. What a cute jack-o'-lantern. There's just one thing left to add. I'm going to add my ribbon. Now, if you don't want to use tape, you could put your ribbon underneath the stem before you glue it down. I'm going to use a little piece of tape, so I take my tape dispenser and take a little piece off. If you'd like to use tape and you don't have any at home, again, you can ask at the front desk of the library. So I will take the back of my plate and I put my finger down to hold the ribbon there, and you could ask an adult to help you. And I place down the tape. So you can see the tape is on top of the bottom of the ribbon. So then I'll move to the front and I'm just going to take the ribbon and drape it over the front of the pumpkin. And that's it. That is our jack-o'-lantern paper plate craft. Again, if you haven't gotten one already, you can stop by the Northeast Branch Library sometime in the next week while supplies last and get your own kit to make one of these at home. So let's go back to the video at our chair and say goodbye. All right, friends, so that's all I have for this week's story time with Miss A, brought to you by the Reading Public Library and Simon Schuster. I hope you enjoyed the story Stumpkin by Lucy Ruth Cummins and our jack-o'-lantern craft. Join us at our channel next Monday at 10 a.m. for another story time with Miss A. Happy spooky season!